living is learning. What you're learning through your living could be positive or it could be negative. It is never indifferent. We were not considered a good address, Lowell, that our industrial city aspect and our ethnic city aspect were looked upon as deficits. As a result of that, there was an alienation being built up between the people and the community. So there wasn't any positive sense of the future.
Mogan began looking for solutions, both within the educational system and outside the schools.
You won't find much learning. You'll find instruction in school. There's not an awful lot of learning in school because some people confuse knowing something with understanding something. And you'll never understand anything, any knowledge you get. It's when you apply it in some kind of a circumstance and find out it is working or it isn't working, or you have to make further accommodations. That's the only time that learning can occur. So your learning is occurring with some kind of a dialogue, which is not happening in the school. It has to happen outside the school. And after getting into education, after being in a number of years, I said, the school is only a very small factor, maybe a 20% factor. In your home and your neighborhood and peers is an 80% factor. So I had the concept for years of making that 80% factor a school in a different sense, but a learning environment which was going to help them when they got into the 20% factor, which was the school. And I'm still consumed with that particular idea.
Beginning in the late 1960s, Pat Mogan helped fashion a plan for a new kind of urban park. Working with community leaders, public officials, and experts from the public and private sectors, he envisioned what he called the educative city. It was a model of lifelong learning, utilizing the local environment as a laboratory and alternative classroom. The city-sized park would be a living exhibit of the process and consequences of the American Industrial Revolution.
Nature.
When Llewellyn celebrated the opening of a Heritage State Park in 1975 and a National Park in 1978, a dream had been realized.
The National Park never would have come to Lowell and set up a park. We went to the National Park and told them why they had to set up a National Park in Lowell. And we went to Congress and told them why they had to set up a National Park in Lowell. I think the thing that really made it work was an enthusiastic, knowledgeable, determined constituency or advocacy made up of the various cultural groups in Lowell that were part of the organization of the model cities.
Pat Mogan earned his doctorate with a dissertation that focused on Lowell's renewal process and was appointed superintendent of Lowell schools in 1977, a post he held until his retirement in 1982. Looking at the park years later, Dr. Mogan observes that the ambitious task of restoring Lowell's health is still not complete. Mogan has always seen the physical artifacts of Lowell's history as props around which the human story is told. While the city's physical restoration and preservation have met and exceeded expectations, Mogan says the development of the human story is an ongoing process that has yet to reach its full potential. For the story to be authentic, it must resonate from within the community and continually be refreshed by the expression of the people.
The same process. When we were developing our model city program, when we were talking about the thing that we were asking was a process that was going to take time to develop, we utilized the words of historian William Bundy. And Bundy said, every great civilization, I say every great city, had one thing in common. That's a positive sense of the future, infusing the present with a sense of purpose, hope, and expectation.